Peace, power, and profit, everybody. Welcome to the Urban Economic Empowerment Show. What's up, Chris? What's up, Price?
What's going on?
How y'all doing this evening?
So outstanding, happy.
Woo woo. It's all that matters. So, what's up, Chris? He must be in the cut somewhere. So, yeah, let me make sure I'm on live. So, I wanted to continue my conversation and share on some grant opportunities that opened up on October the 1st. But if there's anything y'all want to get into first, let me know. And we can do that. For all minds and hearts. Okay, cool. All right. So I wanted to share with the for to some and are those who have not um had the privilege of understanding the grant world in these few years. I just wanted to share how you can begin to put your community organization together so that you can advocate on behalf of your community, or maybe you have a social group and you all are interested in helping the youth or the seniors or your community at large. So I want to share some info. And so the first agency I'm going to share from is the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. And this is the EJ Thriving Communities Grant Makers Sub Grant. It says the Environmental Justice Thriving Communities Grant Makers will work in collaboration with the EPA Office of Environmental Justice and External Civil Rights to issue subgrants to community-based nonprofit organization and other eligible organization representing disadvantaged communities. Grant makers are expected to begin opening com- competitions and awarding subgrants by fall of 2024. So to learn more about the Environmental Justice Thriving Community Program. So, all right, so we're going to talk about the structure of a sub grants, eligibility for sub grants, eligibility sub grant activities, and environmental issues sub grantees can address. All right, sub grants for sub grants. Structure of sub grants. Community-based nonprofit organizations and other eligible organizations seeking sub-grant funding will be able to apply for sub-grants through 3 concurrent tiers offered by the grant makers. And the grant makers, let me back it up so you know who they are. Let me back up a step. I think I got a little ahead of myself. All right. So here's the grant makers map. And it's broken up into 10 regions. And so to identify or to make contact with the grant makers of your region. So I am in South Carolina. And so I am region 4. Well, you can stroll down and it'll also tell you by state. So I think um Chris is, and I think Price, you in Texas, y'all in the Texas area. So you all, or let's see what area, grant maker area you are. I think we said this before, but I can't remember. You are, oh, here we go. So there's a Houston. So region 6, you all are region 6. So I'm region 4, you all are region 6. So I'll go to region 6. So when you go to region 6, as we discussed before, the grant maker is Texas Southern University. And the partners are Achieving Community Tasks Successfully, HBCU dash CBO, Community Based Organization Golf Course Equity Consortium in New Orleans, and then the HBCU Climate Change Consortium in New Orleans, and then the National Black Environmental Justice Network in New Orleans. And so the TIC-TAC Those are those individuals who offer the technical assistance is the Deep South Center for Environmental Justice and New Mexico State University. All right, now let me go back. So so when I speak about grant makers, you know who those people are. Yes, Price.
What did I raise my hand or something, Ms. Mo?
Oh, I thought you said something. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm writing.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
hey, but hey, I do have a question though. So those
Give
partners
me,
are those
give me.
groups?
Yeah, those are no, those are partners. That means that they probably have some funding that they can issue small grants.
Okay.
I'm gonna drop it in the Zoom chat, the link in the Zoom chat for you.
No, I've been to this site. You know, you gave this
Okay.
to me. Uh,
A while ago.
right, right.
Okay. So let's go here. Um, all right. So boom. Tier 1 will consist of grants for 150,000 for assessment. Tier 2 will consist of grants of 250,000 for planning, and Tier 3 will consist of grants of 350,000 for project development. In addition, 75,000 will be given for capacity constrained community-based organizations through non-competitive processes under Tier 1. Each grant maker would design and implement a distribution program best suited for their region and their communities. So let's keep going. So basically, and I didn't even know, it is ineligible. So a lot of people say, hey, what about the for-profit? Well, here you go. Ineligible individuals, for-profits, and state government. Eligible sub-grantees or it said thousands of thriving communities sub-grants will be distributed by grant makers to support capacity building in communities affected by environmental or public health issues to be eligible applicants including. So that means the grant maker, not the EPA, but the grant maker is the person who's going to be evaluating your application. So that's why it's super important you gain a relationship with whoever is over your region. Introduce yourself, try to set up a lunch or a meeting, maybe a technical assistance, even if you are. So how do you do this? Even if you already know the requirements for applying for a federal grant and maybe you already have the components and the applications and all the requirements, right? You still want to connect and act as if you don't and let them walk you through the steps. I'm interested in being a sub-grantor. What do I need to do? I got your information from wherever you would like to tell them and let them ask the questions and you respond. Are you registered in the state? Do you have your articles of incorporation? Yes, I do. Do you have your charity registered? Yes, I do. Have you filed your 990s? Yes, I do. Do you have an EIN? Yes. But do you have a letter of determination? 501c3? Yes. Do you have a board? Yes. Do you have bylaws and operating agreement? Okay. Are you registered in SAMS? Do you have a UEI? Have you been issued your cage code already? Okay, you're ready to rock and roll then. Let's get started. You see how that works? Allow them to ask the questions, hey, I'm interested in applying for the assessment. And we'll go through what each of those grants offer. So who's eligible? Nonprofit organization, community-based, and grassroots nonprofits, meaning you could be brand new out the gate. You just got your 501c3, right? Tribal governments, both federally recognized and state recognized, and intertribal consortia. Local governments. Now, when they say local governments, they're talking like your small, like municipalities, your towns, the small, like the counties or the cities, but not the state agencies. Institution of Higher Education, Native American Organization, Puerto Rico, and U.S. territories. All right. So let's talk about the first tier 1. So the first tier 1, up to 150,000. You could create a research project, sampling, testing, monitoring, investigating, survey, study, or public education. Now, if you want, okay, let me just go through the tiers and we could talk about what that looks like. What are some examples of assessments? Tier 2, up to 250,000. That's the first and second year, well, for 2 years, and it incorporates planning, or partnership and building, or public outreach and education, coordination with community stakeholders to address environmental issues, training activities for community organizations and community members, project and activities to spark community involvement. So, for example, clean up vacant lots, or small purchases and acquisitions that require less than half of the total amount of sub-grant funding. Tier 3, development of projects up to 350,000. That's project development, blueprints for construction or cleanup projects, systematic and technical development. Work to get permits in place directly related to environmental projects. Smaller land purchases and acquisitions that require less than half of the total amount of the sub-grant funding. Implementation of project plans or public outreach and education. A limited number of 75,000 of non-competitive fixed amount sub-award will be available for severely capacity constrained community-based organization to access. All right, so here are the areas that you need to consider. Air quality and asthma, fence line air quality monitoring. Fence line is if you're near a military base. Monitoring or effluent discharges from industry facilities, water quality and sampling, small cleanup projects, improving food access to reduce military miles traveled, stormwater issues and green infrastructure, lead and asbestos contamination, pesticides and other toxic substances, healthy homes that are energy and water use efficient and not subject to indoor air pollution, illegal dumping activities such as education, outreach, and small scale cleanups, emergency preparedness and disaster resilience, environmental job training for occupations that reduce greenhouse gases and other pollutants, air pollutants, environmental justice training for the youth. So you can select any of these topics, right? And you could submit for any of these categories. Either let's say you go with air quality and asthma, and you want to maybe do a survey or a study, or maybe you want to do research, or you want to do some testing or air monitoring. It's a choice. So what you can do, like I already know, I'm going after healthy homes that are energy and water use efficient and not subject to indoor air pollution. So let's say I wanted to do that. I'm going to click on it. So if you wanted to get some ideas on a program, and I wanted to do it I can really do it under the whole project development and get the work permit for it. Or I can do it under number 2. So let's go to a high-speed AI. Let's see. I copied it. Let's see. I got a million tabs open. Let's see. I'm gonna put it in here and I'm gonna just see what comes up. I just want to see what actually comes up, some different contents. All right, so I can actually write a grant and say I would like to, let's see, 250K, 150K. I can look up what it would take to help. Let's see. Projects and activities to support community involvement. Okay, I could take that route on the number 2, the planning projects, the projects and activities. And I can write a proposal under these circumstances. Either I can go around helping people change out their light bulbs to make their homes more energy efficient based on them. You know, a lot of people, I was laughing with someone the other day and I said, wow, I lived in my house since 2007 and I just now changed my light bulbs. I just changed them last month. You know, and Dominion was running this energy efficient program. And so they came around and they switched out my lights and the whole room just lit up. I was like, oh my God, my house lit up like a Christmas tree. You know, it was pretty crazy because I hadn't changed the lights out in so long or whatnot. But and then they came around and they did air strips, things of that nature, make sure everything was sealed properly. So I can look at that. I can look at going and change out windows, right? To making sure they're airtight and there's no leaks for air. We can look at HVAC systems, going and helping homes with that need to upgrade their HVAC systems, or maybe the HVAC systems don't even work, right? Now this is one that I never really paid attention to: water efficiency, installing low flow fixtures, dual flush toilets, water saving appliances, and rainwater harvesting systems to minimize water usage. That's really interesting. Y'all have ever heard of those? So you can kind of play if it's not something you have like readily on your mind, you could kind of play. That's what we have AI for. You can kind of play with that and figure out, okay, what is something that I could do? How can I land some of this low-hanging fruit? Or do you want to educate the babies? Maybe you have someone who is an HVAC certified, and maybe you could put together an HVAC class on indoor air quality, using someone in HVAC contracted out to come teach a block of instructions on how to maintain an HVAC system, or what are some do's and don'ts to handling your HVAC. So what do y'all think?
I know HVAC guy.
Oh, look at that. See?
Yeah, I know two, actually. Yeah.
Watch this. So let's see. Let's try this. Let's do public education. Let's see. Create, just to give an idea, and then it'll trigger you on what you can do with it. Create a public outreach program to teach high school students about indoor air quality. Let's see. Oh, bam. Look at that. And you could, in turn, you can read through it and you can decide and say, okay, is this something, is it attainable? Is something I can do? Let's see. So the program is called Breathe Easy, Understanding Indoor Air Quality. Objective: to educate high school students about the importance of indoor air quality its impact on health, and ways to promote a cleaner and healthier environment within the schools and homes. Target audience, high school students. Program overview. The Breathe Easy program is designed to educate students through interactive sessions, hands-on activities, and educational resources. This initiative will empower students with knowledge about I, IAQ and which is indoor air quality, and encourage them to implement positive change in their daily environment. Here are the key components. You have workshops. So the first introductory one is to discuss common in-air pollutants such as VOCs, moles, dust mites, dangers, and their sources, health impacts, how explain how poor indoor air quality can affect respiratory health, allergies, and overall well-being. Prevention and solutions, teach practical ways to maintain good indoor air quality, such as using air purifiers, ensuring proper ventilations, and choosing low emission products. Now, with that part right there, maybe you could purchase some air purifiers as when the young person goes through the course, that's one of the packages to their graduation is one of the gifts that you give them is maybe some small air purifiers. And that would enhance your program because you're actually giving some items away to the student. You add participants costs, right? And then there's some different activities, different types of activities you conclude. Let's go down to see how long you say. Okay, so the initial outreach and recruitment will be like 1 month. Then a workshop and inactive activities is 3 months. Weekly sessions mean you just do it once a week. And then student LED initiatives and final presentation, it's 2 months. And then culminating events is the showcase of the student projects and feedback. And so you can kind of create a little program. And then you have a pre and post survey to access the knowledge gained. So how you do that is you create a survey and you keep the same one. You give them one in the beginning when they do their orientation session. And then once you've gone through the program, then you give them that same assessment. And then you gauge whether that person has gained more knowledge or they didn't learn anything at all, or you get some good feedback from the students. See how that works? And this could be enhanced, it could be added to, it could be taken away. You can drill down a little bit more in some of the write-up, or you could change it up and you could create it at your own, but it gives you an idea of how to create a program and submit for this grant. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, it
And
makes
so,
sense to me.
right. And so each one right now, each grant maker has the opportunity, every grant maker, let's drill down and we can see. I think I had clicked on something and it gave me how much they have already received. Let's see. Number 4. No. Let me back it up. I think it showed me how much money they already right here. So they've already selected 11. I mean, they got the 11 regions, but this is how much money that your region has. So that's 4. Let's see, 5, 6. You're in 6, right? So they have 50 million to give out. The question is, are you going to try to be one of those recipients? Are you interested in being one of those recipients? And these are, so let's see, how do you apply? So let's back this up. So we did the overview. Let's see the fact sheet. Okay, it's just going to go through what we already know. So we know we have 600 million, at least 600 million to address the environmental justice and public health issues in underserved communities. And many of us know or we live in an undeserved, disadvantaged community. Let me see if I can actually open up an application, because these grants are not supposed to be very difficult for you to obtain. So let me scroll down. Let's see if we can find it. You may have to contact the grantor, but let's see. Let's see. All right. Now we're looking for the applications. Applications. I think I have a link in my email. See y'all. Hold up. Wait a minute. How to apply is what we looking for. Let's see. Let me see if it was on here. Maybe I got ahead of myself. All right. So, between the EPA and 11 grant makers around the nation to reduce the burden of federal grants, applications, processes, and distribute federal funds to potential applicants working to address environmental issues. And so this is what they call the low-hanging fruit. So the question is, how do you apply? So I'm thinking that you may have to contact your individual grant maker. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Hold on. Let me go back. I just saw it. Let me go back. Yeah. Let's see. How do you apply? Let me make this larger so you can look at it. All right. How many pages? It's 3 pages. They got a Stern committee. Yep. We know about that. Okay. Yeah. Where is so I'm thinking to get to the applications, these community-based organizations would only be allowed to apply to the national grant maker, but couldn't apply. Okay, wait a minute. So you have to actually contact the grant maker for the app. So you have to request an application. Let's see if they have. Let's see if they have a let's see. Technical assistance. Yep, we know you could do that. We're trying to, okay, application and submission information. That's what we're looking for. So here we go. All right. So so they tell you this is what you need to make sure that you can apply. And they're really only asking for the SAM registrations. So those individuals registering checklist. Let's look at that. Let's open it up. So, how many pages is this? 18. So if you don't already have your SAMS registration, you can go to sams.gov. Make sure when you go to sams.gov, make sure that you have your EIN document or your letter of determination. And also make sure you have your articles of incorporation. Make sure it's a certified true copy within a year. So SAMS, you can get your unique entity ID. What's super important is that your business name and this address on that EIN document and or that IRS document and the Secretary of State, make sure that they agree. If they do not agree, then you got to take the necessary steps to make that happen. Let's see what else they got on here that I don't know about. all this stuff. Okay, let me back up. Make sure you know your NAICS codes because you're going to need it to go in SAMS. Yep, all these are SAMS questions. Let's see, there's nothing. All of this is SAMS questions that they're going to ask you in SAMS registration. So you can visit that information. And yep, so they're just requiring you to have a SAMS registration, which is your UEI. That's it. Let me go back and see what else they have on here. You also need to, while you're registered in SAMS.gov, you definitely need to make sure you in grants.gov and establish a workspace. And this is the old one. So yeah, and then these are the forms that you're gonna have to fill out. The federal application for federal assistance, I think it's just like your name, the address, point of contact, your budget forms, your key contact folk, Pure Water compliance report, project narrative. So I'm looking to see letters of commitments if you have partners. All right, so here's a sample draft of a proposal. So I'm looking for this one for the one for 2024. So they kind of give you everything you need. And then there's some videos that you can watch. If you want to go and check out those videos. So let me back this up. And don't make your program so complicated that you can't even do it. Don't make it so, don't create all these different. Oh, I can't post this. May not be able to play it. I'm gonna drop the link though in the chat. So you all, if you want to watch it your own, you can. But I can't play it on here. All right, let's see what else they have out here. All right, so this is just what this passed through. This is just what EPA got going on. And this is what they're calling low-hanging fruit that you can get to, easy to get to right now. That's available for you. You just have to come up with a program. And once you come up with the program, if you need some help, then you contact one of the TIC-TACs in your region and they can help you. They can help you organize. If you hit submit a request, you can go to your region. Like if I go here and I put in my region, and this takes me to my technical assistance site. And I can just click if I want to request some help. And I stroll down and see, you'll see it again. These are the different areas that they help with. Right. And so they can help identify and apply for funding. This is another reason you want to gain a relationship with the TIC-TAC, because they'll help you find some funding to help fund your initiative. So you don't feel like you're out there alone trying to do it by yourself. Support partnership with environmental justice organizations. Navigate online government systems and tools. Engaging with local and state governments. And then connecting with experts for an EJ issues. So you can click here. You want to be able to connect and partner, and for them to connect you with people that are beneficial to you, because that's how you gain That's how you increase your network. That's how you get your ecosystem down pack. You have you and your community-based organization, and then you'll have the TICTAC, which is a thriving community technical assistance center, and then they will connect you with like the subject matter experts on the school campuses or other partners out there or subject matter experts who are doing the work. And so all you have to do is click on your region, send them an email, and they'll reach back out to you. And you definitely want to gain a relationship with those individuals. Any questions on the environmental justice type grants? Now, and this site is not the only place you can actually find these type of grants and where this money is flowing. You can do USDA because there's a lot of money in the rural areas, and you could put EPA grants, and you'll see how. Let's go back. Here we go. USDA water grants. So we know right now there's a lot of water pipe issues in multiple states. Why? Because the infrastructure is failing. It's old and it just needs to be updated. You know, maybe have some issues with the water quality. If you connect with one of the professors, or if you explore the universities around you and see who has these different either water clubs or water programs or water monitoring, or somebody at that university, especially if their research university is doing something that has to do with water quality, drinking water, you could connect with them and you could create a program with the youth. It's all about STEM. It's all about teaching the young adults, getting them exposed to those career fields so that they can be one day be one of those individuals in it. Emergency Community Water Assistance Grant. So there are grants out there. You just have to create the program. And the programs don't have to be so intense that they're unattainable. A maximum of $150,000 to make emergency repairs and replacements of facilities on existing systems in the rural areas. So here's an opportunity right here. Grants cover projects to obtain or maintain adequate quantities of water that meet standards set by a Safe Drinking Water Act. Emergencies include droughts, earthquake, flood, tornado, hurricane, disease outbreak, or chemical spill leakage or steepage. Eligible public entities and nonprofit corporations in rural areas may be eligible. Public entities include tribal, federal, state reserves, and other federally recognized tribal groups. They also include cities, states, unincorporated areas with populations of less than 10,000. These cities must have a median household of no more than 100% of the state's non-metropolitan median household income. 100% grant for project cost. So here's some grants on water, drinking sources, treatment, storage, distribution, sewage collection, transmission, treatment, disposal. So you would want to, you don't have to be the subject matter expert. You just need to find someone who is and develop a program. And because we have all these intelligent people around us, and we also have AI and Google, you can play around with a program, in particularly a youth program. And you can create something that will be funded. And then sometimes you just have to learn how to leverage funds to do what it is you need to be done. So this one type, and this is USDA water grant. If you know any plumbers, may be a good partnership. Let's see. Let's see what's under USDA. Rural Energy for America program. 140 million to expand access to renewable energy and low energy costs for rural Americans. All right. So let's see what we're talking about here in the type of grants. And so this funding come by way of the Inflation Reduction Act, funding more farmers and more acres are entitled to voluntary conservation practices than at any single point in history. And not even with this unprecedented funding, USDA is seeing more demand than we have funds to support. So with this right here, so a lot of farmers, they know how to farm. They probably pretty skilled at what they do. However, where the farmers are lacking is the technology side. How to get to consumers to their products. How do they make themselves more appealing to the consumer so they can sell more of their products, but also using technology to better their processes. And so if you're someone that's like have a knack for improving systems or bringing networks of individuals together to create these type of processes, farmers definitely can use you these days. And there's a lot of funding in helping with marketing and sharing the how-tos as it relates to technology and the for farmers. Let's back it up.
Miss Mo, you talking about like irrigation systems or like
Uh-huh.
automation of
Yep.
equipment?
That could be too. Yep. All of that. So our event this weekend is on is for farmers and landowners who are interested in grow crops on their land and looking for how to expand opportunities for themselves. And so we're going to be having a whole conversation around it. It's going to be live as well.
Was that the brother you shared? You shared a brother earlier this week. Or it could have been last. Was it this week?
What was I just saying? Just giving an example of what he's done.
Nah, it was a brother talking on a live about, he was in like a field, or it's like
Oh,
his family land, and he
yeah.
said on it.
On Facebook, we went
Yeah,
live.
yeah.
Yeah, I was recording him. That's our new state representative for Lower
Oh,
Richland.
he's the dude.
Uh-huh.
I did not know that. Okay. I thought there
Yep.
was well, I guess he is a member of the community. So
Yep.
yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be, but he's born and raised from Lower Richland. He will take, he'll take his seat. He won the election. He didn't have anybody to run against him because he had already won. You know how you win over 51%. You don't have,
Right. Yeah, you don't get
yes,
a opponent.
right. So
Yeah.
he was one of those. And so he'll take office on the 8th this Saturday. I mean this Sunday, actually the 10th.
And y'all doing the event Saturday, right?
We have two. So Saturday we're going to have the food insecurity where we're doing the tele town hall for the farmers and landowners or our community who's interested in learning about farming and using their land for growing crops. And then on the Sunday, we're having a community report out brunch. And that's where he's going to tell the community what he's done so far in their pursuit to this change grant, which the EPA has, is a $20 million grant. And so basically what he's done is kind of set the stage through these last 3 to 5 years. They have created these hub of programs centered around the change grant categories. And the last one block we needed to check was this food insecurity. And so they've gotten the youth involved. They got a program called the SEAL program. That's where they're doing the water monitoring. They have some air testing going on. We about to talk about doing some. That's what the land. So this one is twofold because the landowners and surveying the land is involved as well. And then now we have we're getting ready to actually write the grant. Matter of fact, they're starting tomorrow. Now let me share with you how what has worked for them in grant writing. Instead of one person trying to write the entire grant, what they have done is, and let me see if I can get this out. The new environmental justice, you got this one. What they do is they take the grant, show you how to make this easier. Let's see. The view the announcement. It's due on the 24th. And they go to the application page of it. So this grant, let's see if I can make this larger. Same thing. It has what, 3 tracks. Community driven investment for change, meaningful engagement for equitable governance. We don't think we're going after that. Target investment areas, track 1, that might be possible. We're going after, I'll find out tomorrow. But I know I think it's this piece of it, empowering communities and strengthening their capacity to drive meaningful positive change on the ground for years to come. We're definitely going after a change in the community. Let's see if I could get so they will break this stuff down and each person would take a part, but I need the actual app. Let's see. Let me see if it allows me to get the application. Okay, yeah, here we go. All right. So you have their climate action strategy, the pollution reduction strategy, the community engagement and collaboration with governments to plan. Now, this piece right here, we have down packed because we have a municipality on our side. We're working with the town of Eastover. Now, this is the largest one. I don't expect anybody on here to go after this unless you actually have a municipality in your corner. The community strengthen plan, we have that because that's why we've done the retreat to galvanize the community organizations and to come up with a community-based organization. Readiness approach and compliance plan. And so they're going to break these out, and they have 3 grant writers, and they're going to split it up, and they're going to write to those points. So once they have their meeting, they're going to discuss how to approach this. Now, we've been looking at this for a while, so they probably already have an idea of what they want to do with it. And they may already have most of it written up. They're probably just going to be touching bases with it. So just like with any grant, and I hate to go through this one because this is massive. Let me pull up something simple. Let's see. Let me see if I can get an application. I can break it out. Oh, I should have pulled the form. I just want to pull something up. It's available. Let's see. When did they let me go on without signing in? All right, let's just look up any one of them. Arts Work Fund invites application to improve art organizational strategies. Let's see. Think grants, explore grants. I can actually apply for this. Let's see what artworks. Let me see if they give me a grant application. Okay. Okay. Let's go to Think Grants. Apply. I hope it doesn't make me sign in. I wish it would give me a PDF. Let's see, because I want to show you how to. I don't want to do it. Man, I need to keep this though. This look like something I can apply for the Gullah Festival. Let me see. Go back. You can't do the arts right now. I want a grant application. Don't be so hard on the sister when I'm trying to learn. Let's do a location. South Carolina. Oh, y'all. Hold on 1 second. So this every nonprofit organization should have this subscription, and you could get it for free. Actually, let me see if it'll let me see some grants without having to log in. Not let me see it. Let's see. Anyways, I've talked for a whole hour. Y'all have anything else? What Chris said?
Oh, I don't know, Miss Mo.
He said, I don't know,
Probably
Miss
eating right by now.
Eating or doing something he ain't got no business.
I don't know about all that now. Folks is grown.
Talking about where Chris at.
See, I told you. All he had to do is say something crazy. He'll surface. He probably in class. You in class, Chris?
Yeah, I was getting tested.
Oh,
I take my test in a couple weeks.
oh, my bad. I don't want
Oh,
to.
you're 6 and 7?
Well, no, I'm taking the SIE first. General.
Okay. You did say that last week.
Yeah. So I had one of my classmates that just passed. She kind of tested me on it. So
Cool.
yeah, we almost done though.
Oh, this is something important to talk about. So when people start, when groups of people start nonprofit organizations, the fundraising piece. So you're supposed to. So grants are only supposed to be temporary. You should either have a fundraiser on the team, or you should know how to fundraise. So let's talk about these 3 common fundraising mistakes nonprofits make and how to avoid them. It said, despite the importance of raising money well, the majority of small to mid-sized nonprofits use suboptimal strategies, methods that are expensive, time-consuming, and yield only minimal returns on a lot of hard work. As founder and CEO of Artruist Partners LLC, creator of the Artruist Accelerator, I have almost 20 years of experience working in the social impact sectors. Based on my experience, here are 3 of the most common mistakes nonprofits make, along with what they should be doing instead. All right, fundraising mistake number one, rely on one-time events or mass marketing efforts. One-time events such as auctions, galas, and raffles are expensive to produce and almost always result in limited return on investments. By themselves, social media appeals, fundraising letters, and other mass marketing efforts offer low conversation rates and contribute to message fatigue and information overload. These are the kinds of revenue strategies that keep nonprofits just striving instead of scaling. You're going to hear that word a lot. When we take our grant workshop, this is what Kyle Bryce talks about, scaling up your organization. In this age, go ahead, Price. You gonna say something?
Oh no, ma'am.
Oh, in this age of digital overload and short attention spans, nonprofits that want to raise more money will instead create and sustain authentic, productive, long-term relationships with a network of individuals, corporate executives, government representatives, and or impact investors. Events, social media, and marketing are only small links in a much bigger chain of interactions with supporters. In order to successfully scale, a nonprofit must build and inspire confidence among its potential donors that it can effectively deploy their money to address a social issue. Instead of one-time transactions for small amounts of money, in a Truist's experience working with top level clients, this approach involves a 6 to 12 month long process for raising millions in new capital. Strategies for creating and sustaining long-term relationships with different entities include number one, individuals proposing charitable investments, a reframed term for donations, which I explained upon in fundraising mistakes. Number two, via one-on-one, face-to-face meetings while using events to educate and thank investors and identify potential major prospects. Corporations developing evidence that the partnership can solve their business problems, add marketing and brand value, or create a broad platform for meaningful employee engagement. So I've recently just started doing that with the corporations. Foundations rely on experienced, proven grant writers to research and write proposals. This is why gaining a relationship with professors, especially those who are good writers or good researchers, is important, because when it asks for key personnel and you mention those individuals on your team, you're least likely than not, I'll use the military term, least likely than not, will be eligible for that grant. Government agencies using experts to review the federal grant register and target new grant opportunities. That's where the TICTAC are coming into play, right? Where they're offering these grant makers to help you create, find these grants and submit for them. Impact investors soliciting program related investments, loans that are often converted to grants from private foundations. All right. Number two, fundraising mistake number two, using language that can be off-putting to potential donors. According to a Better Business Bureau, only 1 in 5 Americans highly trust charities. So, using the same kind of language as every other charity repeatedly expressing their need for funding may not be the most effective strategy. Nonprofits that seek to scale use language such as charitable investment or investment for short. This brings the listener into a uniquely powerful frame. We don't seek gifts, we seek investments. not for a financial return, but for a clear and measurable social outcome. Interesting. The frame we teach the nonprofits will work with is this, quote, run towards words that differentiate you from the crowd, words that present you as an organization that is transparent and accountable, quote, unquote. Words that easily do this include investment and partnership instead of typically fundraising terms such as development or advancement. Okay, let's learn something right there. However, nonprofits should tread carefully when using these terms. They need to be able to make a good promise of transparency and accountability. If we don't follow through on our rhetoric, we will fail to sustain the trust critical to secure more funding. So I like that. Okay. So instead of saying we're developing and advancing, we're saying we're investing and we're partnering.
Partnering with members of the community.
Yes. Charitable investments. I would like for you to take the opportunity to give to make a charitable investment. I like it.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. Fundraising mistake number 3, tackling too much. Yes, this is a big mistake. Many people try to save the world, and grantors know how much you can do. So when you pack that grant application with this grant, you don't give yourself time to evaluate your program and then follow up and then plan and then implement. You have to give yourself time. Many nonprofits try to solve more problems than they have the resources to address. They may invent new initiatives in pursuit of funding opportunities, start a new program because a grant maker is interested in supporting it, or find it hard to say no to an emotionally compelling issue. Despite their best intentions, this lack of organization focus results in mission creep, the gradual expansion of a project or mission beyond its original scope. Marketing experts call this TMM, too many messages. Inundating the audience with too many choices. The resulting confusion and paralysis can cause low conversation rates. The less focused your nonprofit is, the less likely you are to achieve your goals because the organization is spread too thin. That is so true. I had to learn that the hard way when I started doing those business workshops for the nonprofit, and I cast that net so wide. Man, after my first workshop, I think I had attracted like 25 people. They were on different levels of learning for government contracting, and they gave me a run for my money, and I thought I was going to scream in there. Because it was too much. It was too much. I was trying to address too much at one time. And so I learned how to scale it all the way back to just the application. And then I passed them on to the government agencies for more in-depth learning to be a contractor. Yes.
Hey, do some learning along the way and then come back and tell me what you learned. Maybe I learned something.
Hey, you better say that. Successful nonprofits try to resolve one specific difficult problem. They pick a goal, define strategies, and stay focused on the small handful of metrics that measure the execution of the strategy. These metrics are called key performance indicators. Somebody mentioned that the other night, KPIs, which can be broken down into lagging indicators. The desired outcome or the ending results, such as dollars raised or percentage increase in registered voters in our community. And leading indicators, the activities performed to create the desired outcome, such as meetings had with potential investors. So pick a goal. So you can write your nonprofit up and you can have multiple goals, but if you're going to go after like a fundraiser, do one at a time. Don't try to do the fundraiser or seek potential investors based on all of it. Pick one and then you build on it. So maybe 1 year you'll focus on one of your goals. Next year you'll focus on goal 2, 3, 4. And that's how you grow your business. And then also how you make more, how you create your successes and you build towards larger grants. Because if you create a program and let's say you have 3 levels to it or 3 categories, then you will focus on one, then next time 2. It's kind of like school. Always try to use grade school as an example or school as an example. You have elementary, middle school, high school, undergrad, and postgraduate. So you want to break yours down, you could say enemy or how they'll say beginners, intermediate, and advanced. So whatever program you create, it should always have an introductory familiarization to your program. So case in point, I had wrote a call center program and I had attached the customer service, the remote customer service certificate from one of the CPE institutions, accredited institutions, but the class was only offered at a certain time of the month. So what I did was I created 2 weeks of soft skills training. The first being maintenance, teaching them how to become. The first is teach them how to become familiar with the equipment and how to upkeep it, right? And then secondly was live impromptu conversations, how to troubleshoot verbally. And then the third was how to research using different tools on the internet to find your answer within that website. And so that kind of gave me a buffer to the actual customer service. So by the time they got to the remote training, they didn't break their headset, keyboard wasn't working, you know what I'm saying? Internet moving slow because they got spyware now, because the computer they use to work with, they also serve the dead, just crazy stuff. So I had broke out different goals. I had it set up separately. And it was like 3-tier. It was like a 3-tier deal. By the time you got to work and earn money, you had already went through 4 weeks of training. So it gave you some work skills. So being in nonprofit organizations are merely surviving instead of thriving. The good news is there are better proven ways to dramatically increase nonprofit revenue, but only if nonprofit leaders are willing to think outside the box. That's so true. So right now, with the Original Gunner Festival, that's what we're doing. So we have a grant writer, but now we've just been given a capacity building grant to hire one person full-time, and they're going to pay for a fundraiser consultant to teach us how to fundraise. So that we don't always just look, because the grant writer right now is only looking for grants for arts and festivals. But there's so many other ways that the festival could be beneficial. And one of the ways we're going to use is to allow the art school there to display their art exhibits at the festival and to do a fashion show. So those are, like kind of create like a Project Runway Farm.
Right.
Especially being that time of the year, it's a mass crowd, So like say, for example, during homecoming times of the year for high schools or college for that matter, you had a nonprofit organization and you wanted to bring awareness to your nonprofit because some of your alumni peers to invest in it, may be a good time for a community project. You know, around the school, around the community where the school reside, you know, just different
No, I
things.
get it.
And
Right, right.
people will invest in it because they'll be like, oh, that person, is doing some good work. So this was very useful information. So what did I gather here? Look for, let's see, say you're doing charitable investments versus the term donations. I'm looking for donations, right? Get grant writers who have a experience that are considered to be subject matter experts or researchers. That's big within itself. If you can get someone on your team. So like today, I just reached out to a professor on USC, and we got like 3 of them. They're going to be the ones that's writing that change grant. We're going to participate, but they're going to do the actual grunt work, because that's what they do.
Let's say that's right up their alley.
Exactly. And we paid them good. So we received a grant to pay for a grant. How you love that?
Yeah, it don't get no better.
That's called capacity building grants. Being able to pay those contractors to help you towards the overall mission. So
Gotcha.
you building that capacity. See what other good tips they got for us on here. So yeah. What else we could go into today? I think I done grant you out today.
No, hey, Miss Mo, I'm still putting my notes together. What's the thing you did with the tree when you was building the teams, the
Oh,
ecosystem you called it?
yeah. Let me bring it
Yeah,
back.
yeah, I'm still on that one.
Ah, you still trying to get your problem tree?
Yeah, but not so much there. I just like the way you use that to build a team. With the what you call
Oh,
them, CBOs,
right
and
here.
yeah. That's
Yes.
a real good video, man. You probably gonna get 1 million views off of that.
Yeah, I should probably just do one with just it and cut it off, or I should chop it up. So this is gonna listen. So we all know, I know everybody's talking the election. So a lot of, as you see, I visited 2 agencies and community-based organization. Community-based organization is where how the funding is gonna come down. So they want you to partner, basically saying, okay, if you can't obtain these funds, and these funds been available for years, then we got to teach you how to. So now we're gonna force you to work together.
Mm.
If you didn't work together before the fast, now you don't have no choice. If you want a piece of the pie, you're gonna have to partner. You're gonna have to get together. You're gonna have to galvanize around a common goal.
I
And that's
mean, wait, are you describing the now?
the now.
Okay, and I don't disagree with that at all. I mean, I like that, but go
Right.
ahead.
Let's see. I'm on how to create a deal. Let's see what it gives us. Oh, what happened?
I don't know.
Oh, it act like it would. I didn't ask to upload that. Yeah, let me do it again. Mine got stuck. Let me refresh it. When you start doing something good, start messing with you.
Hmm.
Don't mess with nobody else. But they want to And community engagement, you're gonna hear that a lot. You're gonna start to hear when opportunities come up, you're gonna start hearing community engagement, community engagement, community engagement, because a lot of the mandate has been that the institutions, the government agencies, they need to start engaging with the community. You can't just sit in the office, have the funds, and you're not providing any technical assistance or support to these local, because a lot of local grassroots organizations have stem up over the years. Not to say that they haven't been there, because Danny talks about them all the time.
Yeah, he
The
does.
Right. The what was it? The New York, the Mutual Liberty Fund Society. Deacons of the Defense, Black Panthers, and many, many more I'm sure we can actually name. So what we have to do now is, if you already have a group of individuals, it's really a matter of, okay, identifying a purpose and a mission. What do we want to look at? We want to look at, or we want to go after the health initiatives in the community, how to keep the kids. If you into sports, you have a sports league, you should have a health initiative attached to your sport league, where when you have your tournaments or you have a game, that you have somebody in the health industry set up doing some outreach. That's free. It doesn't cost you anything. So when we do when Keon does the camp in my hometown, March the 29th, we're gonna have health outreach, dental, optometry, diabetes, you name it.
Wait, when you say you're gonna have it, is somebody gonna be out there like talking or handing out pamphlets? I mean, what does that look like?
Handing out materials. Just they
Okay.
have that tent set up around the
Okay.
football field,
Okay.
and they'll be available so the parents can be engaged while the kids are doing their skills training. We'll have something to engage the parents. So I had one a friend of mine, her son was playing basketball, or her two sons was playing basketball on a community basketball court, and the son collapsed and none of the kids knew CPR.
Oh man, I remember that happened to what was his name? Len Bias.
And he died.
Yeah, he did.
So she has a little initiative. They do a little health initiative every year, and she have this certified first aid folk come out and teach the kids CPR.
Ooh.
So because he's expected to have over 500 kids there, we're going to make that useful. It's not just going to be, skills training going on. We're going to get those government agencies involved and have them come out, and even the medical field, because they have outreach programs. We just don't tap into them in the areas that we have the clientele.
Right.
Which is the sports. Lots of kids into sports, lots of kids into some type of performing arts. If you have the football players out there, 9 out of 10, the band ain't too far.
It's just the way it's set up. I mean, we just don't organize it like. That's why I like your approach, because you catch them little nuances in there.
Right. And those categories of organizations have grants. So yes, we have the physical aspect of it from the sports side of the house, but if you bring the health piece, then you make it tap into maybe a hospital fund or insurance fund who have grants. Aflac has a grant, Blue Cross Blue Shield has a grant, Prisma has a grant, Aetna has a grant, you name it, Humana.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, we get a Prisma grant every year for when Prisma here has 4 quarters that they issue grants out for as long as it's a health initiative. So when we do our seniors day, we don't call it just a senior day, we call it a senior day of fun and health care.
Mm.
And so we have everybody who's offering some type of health care for seniors, we have them as a vendor. And so that makes us eligible for that grant. So we just need to learn how to put our initiatives. So if you have, if it's a group of people, so you have to say, okay, what is something I want to do? Because here's what people say, oh, Mo, that's not what I want to do. I want to do this. And say, okay, do you have an audience? But I can't get no grants funds. Well, do you have an audience? Yeah, I have. Like my friend Joy, she has about 200 kids come through the dance studio ever since I've been knowing her since 2007. So now we're about to take a different approach. Instead of her going after performing arts grants, just performing arts grants, she's going to start leveraging those kids and add this training component to it. So where 15 minutes, as a part of their workout, that they'll do something and they'll learn about, whether they're learning about anatomy, whether they're learning about strength and conditioning, you see where I'm going with that?
Mm-hmm.
Something would enhance. So since they're so physical with dance, we're going to add that health component piece in it so they can learn how to take better care of their bodies to prevent injuries or know how to caretake an injury. So yeah, so that's enhancing your mission and your purpose. So yes, dance is one thing, but how am I going to use that? Maybe I'll put somebody on my team who's in the healthcare industry, maybe, and I can have someone who's in nutrition. So the physical piece of it. So like a chiropractor or a therapist, physical therapist. I can also have a nutritionist on the team. I can also deal with optometry. So before one of my friends passed, we were in Walmart and this optometrist approached me and she was like, yeah, I heard you working with a lot of young adults. He was like, yeah. She was like, well, you may want to invite me out to some of your events sometimes because a lot of the times the kids who are not performing well is because they can't see.
Right.
And so we was like, wait, what? And so that has been on my radar for some events. What else? Oh, orthopedic. Not just the fact that if you break something, but what's the proper braces, maybe shoe insoles, just getting that education. And that's how, you build that. So if you can get a team, and then you should have some type of assessment you're doing in that program, whether it's quantitative or qualitative, depending on your program. But you still have to have some type of way you either gonna collect data, know how to analyze it, and know how to prioritize it. And so this right here can be what you rely on your subject matter experts to do if you're not familiar with how to do that. So Google has really helped you out. You can go to Google and use Google Forms. I'm gonna go to, well, I can't because I already have it already done, but I have a few that's already up. But you could go to Google Forms, right? And you could create your survey for your program. And that survey is going to, let me see if I have something I can show you. That survey, oh, this one ain't operational. It will give you an analysis, a breakdown, and it would do it for you. So Google, let me tell you something. Google has really helped us out. So this stuff you used to have to do from scratch. Look at this. So Google would give you your statistics for you. So
Yeah.
when I apply for my hospitality grant, one of the things they always troubleshoot me on is this right here. Who's coming? How do you know? Where did you get the information from? So now I have learned how to use Google Forms, and I can capture all the zip codes now. And it's legit. It's not biased. I'm not making it up. You know what I'm saying? It's all
Mhm.
right there. So let me go back to one. Let's do a drive. Let's do a form. So let's say, oh, let me go back. I'm gonna start from one that's already. And all of this stuff is free. You could use the free version and not have to use. So let's go registration.
Yeah, Google Forms is I mean you get up to 15 gigabytes of with just Google Drive, period.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And you can make it interactive. So let's say someone says, I only want to attend day one, which you can do. You could put more options and you can, hold on. Let me see if I can get it right. Let's see if I can get it. All right, add a section. So I can make this response right here go to a section. Wait, how do I? Oh, right here. Okay, yep. So when they answer that question, I can say go to section 1 or go to section 2 based on the responses. So man, I learned how to make this junk interactive. I said, oh, y'all done made me dangerous. Like I can set my survey up and based on their response and the direction I want them to go as far as teaching a class. So like for example, let's say if I set it up and I'm trying to I'm looking for some new clients and I after I ask them their name, their address, their email and their phone number and I say do you have your SAMS registration? And if they say no, I can send them to the setup on what they need to get their SAMS registration. And then once you're done, come back to this. And, vice versa, or whatever we're doing, right? And make it interactive to the point where I can say, okay, this set of individuals, and I can set up workshops to say, this set of individuals, you're going to be in this workshop. This set of individuals, and when I send the emails, I'm only talking to that group. I'm only talking to this group, and I'm only talking to that group. That way, I don't have 4 different groups of people that this person missing this person missing that. And now I have to go back and explain what this means and what that I mean and what this dot means.
Right.
I can speak directly to the needs of that person or that group. And then for those who have accomplished all of that, I can step it up a little bit. Then they don't have to feel like they're wasted their money. Yeah, so this helps out. This helps out a lot. Google Forms Google has did its thing to give everybody, and then, provided that it spits out the data for you and then evaluates it, categorize it for you with the charts, you can use that in your proposals because you really actually did the work.
Yeah, you got data there.
Yes. Real data. So I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yep. So, anyways, I didn't talk enough. But back to our little AI, I use the ChatGPT to give me some ideas on how to stage what I'm getting ready to do. So like I usually already know what I want to do. And then I'll come here and I'll be like, oh snap, I forgot that step. Or oh, you know what? I do need to add that in,
Right, yeah.
Like how and this it gives you the whole. So sometimes when people get together, they put the cart before the horse. They go out and they galvanize and do everything before they even sit down and go through these different strategies. What do you need? Who's going to be the leaders? How are you going to do it? Yeah, usually it's you got the money and now you're trying to figure it out. Oh man.
Exactly. That's why I say I like that whole thing with the problem tree
Yeah.
because you can really set your team
Mhm.
up.
Yep. You can set your team up and you know who is who. So the
Yep.
skilled people or your contractors, they're your supporting services. And then the governmental entities are your collaborative partners.
That's right.
Because when they come along, most of the time their services are free. There's very rarely you're going to come across a governmental agencies and they are charging the agency. Now, maybe somebody in the agency may have their own consulting business and maybe they're consulting you separately, like what Brian is going to do for us.
Hmm.
He's not coming to us as the agency, he's coming to us as a consultant.
Right. Probably met him through the agency.
So
I heard about him.
correct. And he's on this side. And my favorite line, the glue that holds the community-based organization to the service supported services is integrity. You got to pay people. You can't take people for granted, get them to do the work, and then you want to say you don't, they was missing something or you didn't like
Right.
it, or, and just shortchange them because time and labor cost. And be fair. If you're gonna write a grant, write in the services. And then you shouldn't have a heartache about paying nobody because you it didn't come out your pocket. Somebody else
Shouldn't be,
gave it to
yeah,
you.
it shouldn't be no, yeah. Well,
No heart.
but you always say do business. That's
Do
you always say do business.
yeah, if you're gonna do it right. And the mere fact that you think that if you get a nonprofit that you don't run it just like a business, yes, you do. The only difference between the two is one is exempt from taxes. That's it.
Nah, you right, Ms. Mo. You
Or
is right.
yeah, all rules apply. And you should have a group of you who have one and you could partner with each other and take a area. And once you get good at it, because that's the reason that United Way and Red Cross and all those folks that get the big bucks when it comes down to the disasters or hazards is because they get out there and they do this. They contact all these folks, they have them on standby. Because when that funding start rolling in, they not doing the work. They gonna contact these people over here.
And
Contact
plug them
them.
in.
You know it. These folks over here gonna get them to the funds, and they gonna get them right. So if our folks who have a lot of these skill sets would do continuous education, maybe they keep their skills up. So if you're in a professional skill set, you have to do so many CP hours, a year to stay abreast with the current times. But if you same thing for the general contractors, they have to renew their licenses. But like just individuals who are learning, they're up and coming, get you some type of cert, even if it's a free one, to keep your education going so that when you put key personnels in that grant, you can have that accolade available,
Right.
right?
Certified technicians or certified license.
Right,
Look, I
right.
got you.
Right. So my recent deal, what I've done, because coming out of school or coming out of the military, I used to try to get something every 2 years, but lately I ain't feeling those school things. So what I did, I just went and made sure I had my certifications. So the first 3 years ago, I made sure I had the veteran certification indicator, and then now this past year, I got the disadvantaged business enterprise, minority business enterprise, this small business enterprise, and the woman owned. So that's gonna hold me down for about 2 years, and then I'm gonna go and have to seek something else to make that resume look like I've been continuing my skills along the way, and I'm not sitting on old knowledge.
Gotcha.
And so when you put those key personnels in place, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, education don't mean nothing, degrees don't mean nothing, no, been for this place. If you don't have the accolades, then you have experience. And so you're using your experience as a catalyst to help you went over the grant tour. You have to have somebody on the team that holds that paper. I know we don't like to hear that sometimes, but it is what it
And
is.
get over it. And
Yeah.
yeah. Keep talking like that. That's what I got to say, Miss Mo.
Mm-hmm.
Keep
Yes.
saying that.
And the benefit fit to everything is supporting your community needs. Because contrary to whatever's out there, in order for them to start giving, they gotta give out the bag. I don't care. They can't lock you out because there's only so much they're gonna be able to do in their community. They're gonna have to find a way. That's just how the rules are written, right? You gotta find somewhere to bring that money to. And so right now, the attention is on the rural areas because during COVID, when they pushed that infrastructure money out, they rebuilt the inner city. Well, I don't know what y'all doing in y'all cities, but I'm gonna tell you, downtown Columbia, they almost rebuilt every historical
Yeah.
building.
But yeah, shoot, I was just over there 2 years ago, and I was like, damn, it's a
Yeah.
new city, but they kind of preserved the old look. And
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yes.
new, but it still looked like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they did good with it. The
Mm-hmm.
whole thing integrating the base, the school
Mm-hmm.
down there. Is that Benedict that's down there?
Benedict is down there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Benedict
then
and
you get,
Allen.
yeah, you get into downtown, and I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Remember Benedict used to have all those project homes?
well,
They
all that's been redone.
what all housing development. And so
Yeah,
that's what so the conversation is okay, if you won't gentrify yourself and help your own people, then we're gonna come do it for you. But we're gonna charge you more.
yeah. I'm just saying, get organized first.
Get organized,
It- so
get some
yeah,
training.
yeah. Hey, Ms. Mo, well, you preaching to the choir right now,
Yeah,
so I'm.
you own it. Get organized, get get your subject matter expert, your friends, who has what knowledge you need to seek out. What are
Right.
you missing? What are holes you need to fill? That's my new thing now. What are holes you need to fill? So I'm really strong with the finance piece, right? I know admin, but I would rather find somebody else who likes it.
What's that? What is it? SWOT analysis,
Yes,
strength,
strength, yep,
weaknesses.
opportunities and threats.
Yeah, yeah.
Use it all the time. Don't try to be the only person. You're not going to get funded that way. Have
Yeah,
yourself a team, roll with your team.
right.
Create yourself a culture around your organization. So when my cousin called me about putting together their football league and everything, and he didn't really know the extent of what I know. So and when he told me, I got excited and I just started running off. He was like, hold on, cousin, hold on. You're just talking all over my head. I don't know what you're talking about. So I had to slow down and I started telling them how to put the pieces together. And I'm super proud of them. I shared their pictures on my page. They got like a 7 or 9 member team. They all have they've separated their duties and responsibilities. They come together, they have the conversation. If they need me for anything, to explain something, how to go after it. I put all this stuff together first. He's incorporated, his 501c3. He has all his logos are professionally done. They out there, they got their merch. They already know they're getting investment opportunities from through Keon and CD. But they doing their part, right? Uh they went out, they scoped out other youth leagues, they went through the playbook of rules and regs and took what they wanted, changed what they wanted. They have
Yeah. Did they tap in with the city, like Parks and Recs director?
yes,
You
yeah.
know,
They well
tap in
that
with the fire chief, see if you can get the ambulance and stuff. Well, I'm
yeah,
just
yes. So one of the guys is a fire on the fire he works for the fire department. They actually are using the recreation field that's on another side of the town. Because the Parks and Rec there's another youth group that's using their fields.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so, and you know, my little town is small. I'm not talking about a city. I'm talking about my little hometown. And
No, but they'll accommodate you. I mean, then if they
yeah,
don't even work, go to the high school
yes.
or the
And
middle school. I don't know if
correct.
y'all middle schools got
Yes.
fields
We
there, like
do. They
yeah.
do. They do. So they have a field that the owner allowed them to use. They've already, did what they need to do. They got somebody out there cutting that grass and maintaining
Right.
it, doing all of that. So I'm super proud of them. They called me and they were like, so I'm teaching them the lingo. So I'm glad I learned these words today. Instead of asking for donation, we're asking for investments.
Oh man, yeah, I'd be hating to see that. So yeah, how about a charitable investment
Yes.
instead of then they put them babies out there in front of you.
Yes, yes, yes. They run around that field. They get all my money, child. They get all my money, but not, you know.
Yeah.
So I love it. I love it. And so he bounced ideas. We bounce ideas off of me, and I share as much as I can, and get them on the, So a lot of them are career professionals. They have their own businesses, whether they are barbers or they're truck drivers, so they can hold their own, but they also want to know
Right.
how to keep some of them dollars in their pocket. Um,
Now,
and
Miss
so
Mo, we got to learn how to get down like what you're talking about. For so
yes,
long, that we got to shake that hustler's mentality, you know,
mhm,
and
mhm.
start, organizing that into some type of model, a business model, you know.
Yes, yes, and it can be done, and it can be done where it's actually like an ecosystem, right? We have all the players available. And as soon as we get this integrity and the loyalty down pack and create a culture, man, we can be
No, we finna
because
kill
they're
the game. Yeah, we finna kill the
yeah.
game.
Because
Cause
now you can bring the other areas in that I talked about, the other areas. We can have a STEM employment program through those same kids. We can leverage those kids on the off season when them kids are not playing football. Guess what? I got them in fiscal management training. They learning about their money, right? I
right,
got them
right.
in some type of STEM that and make it all relevant to football. If you got a contract and you went into the NFL, or if you got NIL money, how do you handle your money? You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Estate
hey,
plan.
start them early. That's true. Cause
Yes.
they getting it in college now, 6 figures and 7 figures. So yeah,
Yes. Yes. I love Fly J bought them 20 acres of land. Like, y'all better do
yeah.
it. Angel bought a whole soccer team. Like,
Hey,
hey, like what are we doing? And I'm sure we can list a whole bunch of other ideas on here. So your activity would be the fact that they are flag football players, but the educational piece that you can bring in, like what about it? You can identify what are some science technology, what is some technology driven around youth football, you
oh,
know.
shoot, sensors. They've already started doing that with the little ones here.
That's what
Putting
they
us.
walking around with, that little black like
Well,
vest.
no, that's a safety mechanism thing, but they've started putting sensors in their helmets here. They started that like right after COVID.
Mm.
Just talking about the whole discussion around CTE and
Mm-hmm.
I think they start contact maybe I don't know 7 to 8, but they start putting the sensors in the helmets, and then a lot of the teams, the moms and dads are like nurses or whatever. So I mean, people are moving towards that way, but that's the technology aspect right there. The collision sensors, or like you say, engineering. That somebody had to design that doggone shell to go, that soft shell to go over the helmet. Then they had this little neck thing that forces the blood to stay inside the brain to add,
Really?
yeah, that's why you see some of those guys in the NFL wear these little collars around their neck, and what it does is kind of forces the blood to stay in the head to add more cushion for the brain through biological fluids. So yeah, don't get me started, Ms. Mo.
You own it. Hey, listen, that is super cool. So think about bringing awareness to the youth in reference to that particular technology, sharing, having someone come out and demonstrate it or show what it looks
Right.
like, how it works.
Hitting them early. I mean,
Look,
the
there you
earlier
go
the
with that.
better. Yes, I
Touching it
agree.
in protocol, like yeah, you could. I was telling my niece and nephew, I was like, hey, you guys don't have a leg to stand on no more because you got access to the internet, you got AI. All you
Man,
gotta do is drop an idea.
that's what man. OQ was saying that the other day to some kids. Hey man, y'all got everything you need. You have no
Everything,
excuses. No excuses.
everything. And when we took that class the other day, and I'd have to let me see if I can get it from the beginning. The guy, even like I was talking about the statistics, the guy even created the statistics, had it look up the statistics, and I have a paid subscription.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to go back and look at it because we got the video on how he came up, how he was able to bring up them dang subscription statistics. I see, woo, that's all I need right there.
No, yeah, Ms. Mo, you just have it make you a chart, or they probably got a GPT that does that itself. But just say, man, create me a chart or whatever, and then the chart becomes interactive, and you can sit there, whatever data you want, and you can,
Yes, that's what I want to be able to do.
interact with it. Chat GTP, give me data on whatever in this area, the demographics of a certain area by year, and it'll give you an interactive chart within it.
Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah, I have a video. See.
So I told that's my assistant. But look, I'm gonna get out of here. It's
Oh
been
yeah,
what we've been going about 2 hours.
oh yeah,
So,
that's pretty good right there. We got a good video.
but you gave me some good nuggets.
Woo woo. Hey, I appreciate your support and your time. Look at that. Oh boy, you done made me dangerous again. I appreciate you. Thank you, Praise.
Hey, that's